Alright, guys, we're here to talk about the NBA Finals, which start tonight, actually. Something different for the channel. Um, Pacers, obviously, against OKC, the Thunder. Thunder are big favorites. I know that going into this. I see the odds makers and how favored they have them. Despite all that, I don't know. I just have a feeling I really trust Rick Carlisle. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. Very underrated coach. Maybe after this run, he'll no longer be underrated. Obviously, he was the coach that with Dirk and the Mavericks beat LeBron, Wade, Bosh, that uh, super team with the Heat in their first finals. So I really think he's an underrated and underappreciated coach. I think he'll make the adjustments necessary. And the best part about Carlisle is that I think he gets the maximum out of all of his players. So even when his team is not, maybe their maximum capacity is not as good as the team they're playing against maximum capacity, their full potential, he gets the maximum out of his guys. So and the other coach tends to not be able to do that, and he finds a way to make it work and get a win or make it more competitive than it should have been. So mostly, on paper, I think OKC should win, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the Pacers are gonna pull it out. Let's say in 6 games, just because Game 7 in OKC, that might be tough to, that'll be one of the loudest atmospheres, maybe in NBA history. If there's a Game 7 in OKC, that might be tough to handle for the Pacers. But I think if they can get most of their home games, if they can win, and if they can steal one on the road, I think they could close it out in 6. Here's where I'm going for. I'm going Game 1 Pacers, Game 2 big bounce back win for OKC, 1-1 heading into Game 3 in Indiana. Then I'm going to go Pacers to win Game 3, OKC to win Game 4, and then Pacers to win 2 straight to close it out. One in OKC and then finish it out Game 6 at home in Indiana. Um, you know, Obviously, if OKC wins, if I'm wrong about this, I'll eat crow. It's fine. I'm kind of going out on a limb here. If I end up being right, maybe that's wow, what a prediction or whatever. But um, I think if obviously if OKC wins, SGA is probably the MVP almost no matter what. He just does so much for them offensively, defensively, shot creation, free throws, fouls, even passing, assists, playmaking. Jalen, J Dub, maybe has an outside chance at it if he has one or two really big games. If they really close in on SGA and like suffocate him and don't let him breathe on offense. So he might have an outside chance. On Indiana, I think it's, everyone thinks it's either between Halliburton or Siakam. Obviously, Siakam, some people were surprised that he got the Eastern Conference MVP. Um, it was close. I think the vote came down to 5-4 out of 9. So it could be like that again if the Pacers manage to pull this out. Because I think, you know, Halliburton does a lot of things that are like underappreciated and don't show up on the stat sheet really. Like, obviously in hockey, they're hockey assists, right? Those get recorded, but in basketball, there's no such thing as a hockey assist. At least it's not like a recorded. You can watch the game and see hockey assists happen, but there's not a recorded stat. So like he penetrates on offense and then kicks it out to someone, and then they close out to them. The defense closes out to them, and then they make one more pass, and there's a wide open shot. So he does a lot of stuff like that. That might not, be appreciated by the people that are voting for MVP. So I could see either it going either way. I'm gonna go out on a limb and not really going out on a limb. He's like probably the favorite out of the Pacers players to get it, but I'll say Halliburton will get it. They'll split it. Eastern Conference for Siakam, Finals for Halliburton. I think it's going to be a very good series. I think the idea that it's going to be a blowout by one team or the other is overblown. You know, not many people know this, but I think it's either since January or since the All-Star break, the team in the league with the best record, these are the two best teams. So OKC on in the West and Indiana Pacers in the East, and they're actually the two best play teams in the whole league since that point. Um, so yeah, Cleveland kind of struggled after post All Star break. They lost a lot of games. And, you know, they still ended up first, but Celtics also, you know, kind of lackadaisical, not really focused. You know, seemingly waiting for the playoffs to start, and then we saw it happen. They were struggling, so yeah, that's basically my predictions. Come back in here and make fun of me in the comments if I'm really off about the Pacers winning, but I don't know. I just have a feeling. You know, Mark Dagnall is a fine coach. He's good, but I don't know how great he is. And I think Carlisle really is a great coach. He really separates himself from the pack. You don't get to a level like the NBA as a coach without knowing something. Like they're all good coaches, but um, there's levels. There's reasons Spoelstra has been with the Heat for like 15 years or whatever it is. There's a reason Popovich never got fired. There's a reason Phil Jackson never got fired. So, um, yeah, those are my thoughts. Type in the comments who you think is going to win and how many games, and any other predictions or critiques you want to make of my video. But this is just my feeling. It's not like a factual analysis or anything like that. It's just a feeling I had about this finals. Even though they're the underdog, I don't really have a team in this finals. I don't really care that much who wins, but some people complain about the foul baiting of SGA, so maybe they're rooting for the Pacers. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Should be fun. First game tonight, and then I think they're going every other day after that because they're not too far. The flight from Oklahoma to Indiana, could have been from Boston to California, so could have been a much longer layover. Not layover, but flight back and forth. Yeah, so that's the video. If you guys thumb it up, subscribe, like it, comment, share it with your friends if you think it's valuable content or whatever. If you enjoyed it, yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.